All right. So, we were on commercials. And I had shown you a sample of a commercial, and I was going to talk about how, break it down as to what category of commercial it would be. So, I'm going to pick back up where I left off there, and then we'll just continue. So let me get that video up. So you may get tired of seeing this, but oh well. Let me mute my microphone. So
I have not had enough to hear with you, young lady.
Why do you insist on treating me like an adult?
Because you insist on acting like one. Now you're getting this new phone.
But it's so small. I really like it. Why is it always what I want?
Well, do you have any idea how much money this is not going to cost me?
I love you.
I know you really mean that.
You never hated me, and you never will.
You are the most grateful little...
Cingular is changing the conversation about cell phones. Introducing the newest Go phone.
So that was the video, and in normal, like say classroom circumstances, what we would be doing is we would, I'd have you guess as to what type of video that is. Let me get my screens all back to how they should be. Okay. So, I know we went over this about the budget, market size type of product. I guess so. Let's see. Yeah, I can be real quick about this. Basically, unless you're like an educational institution or like PBS, then you rely on commercials. ESPN, CNN, and TV, they rely on commercials. Commercials are pretty creative. You can do pretty much any type. Everything can fall within a commercial. If you want to do something black and white, if you want dramatic, if you want animation, it can be a commercial. Also affected by the budget, how much money you have, market size, because where you are depends on the quality of the commercial that you get, and also the type of product is affects how you advertise it. So that was stuff that we gone over last time. I just did a little quick catch up on that. And we just saw this video here. And now there's some commercial formats. So make sure my mic is on. I want to make sure that sorry about that. So at least I cut off the echo before I got to the more current stuff. So with the commercial formats, announcement, that's one where the announcer is standing in front of the camera addressing the audience. So yeah, it's kind of like imagine a reporter doing a stand-up. It could be something like that, or what is it? I think some of the Allstate commercials with the guy with the deep voice talking to the camera, that'd be kind of an example of an announcement. Or maybe like I know there used to be like the Old Spice guy commercials where he talks about, I don't know, how good he smells or whatever. That'd be also considered an announcement. The key thing is that the talent, the person, is actually speaking to the viewer at home. All right. With demonstration, with this one, they demonstrate how a product works. So whether it's how it can remove stains, or how this knife can saw through a boot and a tomato or whatever. It basically demonstrates how something works. Now with this one, close-ups are absolutely necessary because you want to see how the scrubbing bubbles work, or how the new technology on this knife edge, how it creates a wedge that can cut through anything, whatever. All right. So yeah, you have to have close-ups when you talk about camera macro. So what macro is, it allows the camera to be very close to something and the focus doesn't mess up. So usually, I don't know, I'll just take this little camera remote here. From a distance, you could probably see it, in focus. But if something gets really, 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 really close, it's so blurry. It's so blurry that you can't really, you know, see it that well. So with the macro, it gives you the advantage of being able to see something very up close and in detail. Well, very up close, large, but you also get the detail. So a lot of times with cameras, if you have something really up close, kind of like if you put your hand to your face, you know what your hand looks like, all the lines and wrinkles and whatnot, right? But up close, you can't see all that detail because it gets blurry. So macro kind of allows things to get closer to the camera in case you need that extra detail and just make it, you know, huge, and still keep it in focus. So with the light shining at the 45 degrees, the reason for that is just so that you don't get any type of glare, or you want to keep the glare or the reflection away from bouncing back into the camera. So with an angle like that, it just helps you not get light shown back into the camera. Another commercial format, testimonial. So with the testimonial format, hold on, just wanted to check something. Okay. So with the testimonial format, this is people just talking about how whatever worked for me. So it could be maybe some medical supplement, or maybe it could be some type of I don't know, website that they use, and like, oh, now this is what helped me, or it could be whatever. Okay, but basically it strings, you know, sound bites together of people saying, oh, well, I use this, it worked for me, it worked for me, it worked for me too. So yeah, testimonies is basically you hear from satisfied customers about how it works, it's easy, anybody can do it, or it doesn't cost, you know, anything, and, you know, I'm proof that this, whatever it is something that you want. So moving on to the next commercial format, celebrity spokesperson. Now with this, you have a celebrity and they're speaking about the product. Yeah, famous person promoting something. One of the reasons why they use a particular celebrity is because just calls more attention to that product, and also that celebrity may have a specific audience that the advertiser wants to go after. So whether it's I don't know, say it's Beyonce about some type of beauty product, okay? Well, the people who, maybe this company wants some certain target, and Beyonce speaks to that target audience, or, you know, desired demographic, whatever. And so that's why they say, okay, yeah, we want this person because our, you know, the people that we're trying to sell to, they listen to her. So what was I? Yeah, the desired audience. Also, when shooting these celebrities, usually they have close-ups and medium shots. So the reason for that, you're basically paying for their face, okay? So the most noticeable, distinguishable thing that they have is their face, right? So you want to have that, you know, front and center as often as possible. Also, the audio has to be good. So you're not gonna record something with, like, you know, some celebrity with a built-in camera mic. So you want to hear the quality of their voice. I don't know, maybe it's Morgan Freeman, or I don't know, somebody else who gets paid to do, you know, a lot of voiceover work. Yeah, people know. Sometimes you've seen a commercial and you don't even see the celebrity, but you recognize their voice. I think for a while, like, Queen Latifah was doing a lot of Pizza Hut commercials or something. So sometimes didn't even see her, but still heard her voice. But yeah, it can happen, especially with people who have, you know, a distinct voice. Now it's time to see one of the examples of a celebrity spokesperson video, and let me go ahead and pop that up. Okay. And something I want you to pay attention to, since I would be like, watch this and then count how many times, I don't know, you see his shoes. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to that. Okay, then I also want you to pay attention to how many times do they have a close-up, a shot, say from here up. Okay, so pay attention to how many times you see his shoes and how many times they have a close-up of him. So you can count one thing on one hand and one thing on another hand if if you want.
Scientific tests prove when you drink Dr. Pepper slow, 23 flavors taste even better. For me, slow always produces a hit. Step aside for a minute. Check this out. Slower is better. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Yeah.
Muted it. Okay. So, all right. So, number of times that you saw his feet, 0. Number of times you saw close-ups, I wasn't counting, but more than 0. All right. So yeah, the reason why you're not going to have such a long shot is because, hey, you're paying for this guy. We want people to see that it's Dr. Dre in every shot that Dr. Dre is in. Okay. Now the DJ guy, your very first shot of him, you saw almost like a full body shot. Why? Because this guy's no celebrity. You don't know who he is. He's just playing a role. Anyway, moving on. So another commercial format, dialogue. So with dialogue, usually it's shot in an ordinary location. Why? Because it wants to give the impression that, oh, this is just a conversation that any two normal people could be having. So this is something that could happen, in your kitchen or wherever. Okay. So yeah, shot in ordinary locations. So it's not during the Avengers final battle or something like that. You're also going to have an establishing shot of the location to show where exactly it's happening. So it might be the outside of a diner, then someone sitting down, at a booth, whatever. Uses a lot of over-the-shoulder shots. OTS stands for over the shoulder. So it just shows the different perspective of the person who's listening to someone speak to them. So an over-the-shoulder shot is different in production, in video production, than it is in news, because in news you have an OTS and you have an anchor speaking and you have a graphic over their shoulder that supports what they're saying. Okay, a picture of something new, something that relates to the news story, and some words that go along with that as well. Okay, now for a production OTS. For a production OTS, you're showing the perspective of the listener. So you're getting the back of someone's head. I don't know if I'm kind of wired in right now, so I don't think I can turn around. But you're showing the back of someone's head, showing the back of their shoulder, and they're looking at someone as they speak to them. So that you're looking, you're kind of seeing what they see. Okay. In a news OTS, you're not seeing what the anchor sees. Okay, I hope you guys kind of get that difference. Okay, yeah, and hold on. So I will, give you one example. In that mother-daughter video of the argument about the cell phone, there were a lot of OTSs in that shot, in that commercial. And dramatization. So with this one, it's a brief story, but one thing that dramatizations tend to do is that they just wildly exaggerate a scenario. So it may be something where people disagree, but they get into a big, loud argument when, and normally it wouldn't be like that. Or maybe someone enjoys something, but they enjoy it to a wild extent. With institutional, this is usually this often happens when a company may have made a mistake, or they're trying to, atone for something. So, not always, but if a mistake, I don't know, like say, you guys probably don't remember this, but with the BP oil spill, it was basically, I think, I forget what it was, some underground oil pipe burst, and it was just, millions of gallons of oil was released into the ocean. Now, one of their commercials was about how they care about the environment, and they, show people with BP, I don't know, hazmat suits, or, something with BP logo on it, and they're, by the ocean coast cleaning off ducks or something like that. So that'd be an example of, oh, we care about the environment. Look at us, doing environmental type work. So that'd be an example of institutional. So trying to think of something else. Yeah, but anyway, I think that's a good example right there. So yeah, often promotes, it shows them doing something good. It's something that, oh, well, we sponsor the such and such event because we care about people of whatever, demographic. So that'd be just a rough example of these type of institutional commercials. I don't know if you're thinking, I was thinking maybe, I don't know if Walmart talked about, oh, well, we helped this person, pay for college because of, working at our stores where we have, I don't know, great benefits or something like that. Institutional. So, yeah, it basically is by that corporation to make that corporation look good in some way. So, let's see, gonna skip the shooting styles. Yep. Moving on. So, with the commercials, yeah, you don't want just the same shot. So, dynamic shots, maybe some slow movement, just using different angles can help with your commercial, not just having all medium shots, all wide shots, or whatever. Also, with commercials, a lot of times there's music involved. Not with every commercial format, but if there is music, especially something with a beat that you can tap your foot to, then try to make the edits match the beat of that music. It just helps people get more in sync and more enthralled with the commercial. So yeah. Also with your time frame, remember that most commercials have around a 30-second time frame is pretty standard for commercials. So you have to keep to that. So whether you're you have to remind your client, or you have liberty to just edit how they trust you and just edit however it needs to be done. Remember, you got to keep it to 30 seconds. So that may also affect, say you're doing testimonials, how many testimonials you use. Or maybe there's someone who doesn't say it quite as well as the other person, but you kind of wanted to keep both of them. Well, you can't, because you got a 30-second time limit, so you have to adjust according to that. So yeah, it's that time limit does affect what you can do and how tight that script needs to be. Excuse me. How am I doing on time? 22. Okay. So, for public service announcements. Now, these are also, I think they're kind of like commercials, but they're not trying to sell you anything. Public service announcements, they're just trying to help the audience as a whole. So, it may be something like spend more time with your kids, read books, you know, I don't know, don't pollute, or maybe it might be, I don't know, go for a walk every day. Something that it's not, okay, because you listen to this commercial, now this company makes a whole lot more money. No, it's just usually improves like the quality of life of, you know, of someone. Let's see, short announcements created for the benefits of the viewing audience. Usually, sponsored by a nonprofit agency. So maybe like a literacy council or something. Some of the common themes are, you know, don't do drugs or read to your kids at an early age because it helps them develop well or whatever. Now, the public service announcements can be on a local or national level, so some of them are from national organizations. Some of them might just be, I don't know, maybe some Pine Bluff Cares initiative or something where they, I don't know, go read to kids at schools or something. So, anyway. Now, moving on to music videos. Now, with music videos, the most, I guess, standard old school way that music videos were done is usually showing a group, you know, and back when people, you know, played instruments, performing the song in the studio or, you know, on the stage. So, I don't know, think of I don't know if you know the We Are the World video. It's basically just shot in the studio, people singing. Anyway. So, also it can be on location, you know, performing the song. So, and with music videos, I'd say they're probably also music videos and commercials are probably the most creative outlets for video. So you got a lot of flexibility there. So with the music videos, the location can be suggested by the song or it cannot. So it just depends on, you know, whoever's paying for the video or whoever's, you know, financing the video, how they want it to look. So it can be contrary to what the song says or be right in step with it. But the most basic thinking is, okay, the song talks about getting out of school early, so let's shoot this in a school, you know. The creative lighting. So this is often the case because what do you want? Some drab, you know, I don't know, convenience store lighting or whatever. No, the lighting changes can add drama, can make things seem intriguing, or it could suggest like a light atmosphere. So I think my next slide, is an example of how creative lighting can turn I'll just show it to you. And let's see. Okay, and there's no audio, or at least I'm not going to play the audio for this. And I'll just talk and you'll watch, and so I'll just let it speak for itself first. Okay, so this is a video from the Jamie Foxx video. The name of the song is Blame It. Basically blame it on the alcohol. Anyway, looking at the clip, and no, I'm not going to show you the whole music video, but looking at this clip, you assume, where does this take place? Yes, at a club, correct. So you assume that this is in some type of nightclub, okay? Why? Why do you assume that this is in a nightclub? You assume it's in a nightclub. It's dimly lit. It's packed. People are drinking, dancing, socializing. But what have you actually seen? You see the lighting, so it kind of gives the impression it's, you know, dimly lit, but you don't see the floor. Do you see? I mean, there, you know, floor, DJ. I don't even think you barely even see chairs. Look at this. This is you know, a shot looking down, but guess what? It's packed. Okay, so you can't even see the floor, right? So the reason why I mention these things is because this could very well and most likely not shot in a nightclub. Okay, this could be just in a warehouse with some blank walls. So all you need to do is just pack the frame of the video with people. Okay, you show people, you show glasses clinking. Yeah, and yeah, for a video production crew to fit into a nightclub, it's gonna be difficult. But anyway, yeah, you don't see. There's a lot you don't see. Okay, it's very strategically framed to where you see lots of people, you see glasses clinking, but you know, you don't see I don't know, speakers, for instance. Nightclubs have big loud speakers, you know, lots of places, you know, bartender, all that kind of stuff. So the main thing that suggests this, that helps, one of the things that help create this atmosphere, this look, is the lighting. Okay, so you don't see the name of a club or anything like that, but the lighting gives you that impression that, you know, that you're at some type of nightclub. Okay, that's just a creative use of lighting. So it could be literally just shot in, you know, classroom or a gym or something. But even if it was a gym, you'd see bleachers. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Okay, so with the music videos, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of tight shots. Now you will have a few long shots, some establishing shots to let you know where you are, but yeah, a lot of it's gonna be pretty up close. Yeah, brief long shot, establishing shot, wide. Yeah, just talked about that. In some videos, they're performing the song in various locations. That's kind of like an old school video technique, where they sing the song, you know, on stage, in the studio, walking down the street. I don't know, maybe walking through the halls of some busy place, whatever. Okay, that's kind of just like music video 101. Yeah. Oh, when it is being shot on location, when they are shooting on location, there's a reference audio version of the song being played. What does that mean? That means, well, the reference audio is a version of the song for the singers or performers to lip sync to, and for the people to dance to if they are dancing. So to get into that a little bit with a little bit more detail, so it's the studio version of the song. The same version of the song that's going to be used when editing the video together. Sorry about that. So that's why I use the studio version, because that's the same thing that's going to be edited in the final video. Yeah, the final edit of the video. Let's see. So, because of that, since it's the same MP3 or whatever, it's played on, you know, maybe some loud music system. So that way, I don't know, maybe it'd be a boombox, whatever, or, you know, just playing, it's just consistently played at whatever location is used for that music video. So it just keeps everything in sync, on beat, and it's the same version. So it just makes it easier when you get back to editing. That okay, you can also hear, that those verses and that version in the background. Okay, now for the reference audio, even though you're using that on location for people to dance to and lip sync to, that's not what's going to be heard in the final product. Okay, nobody wants to hear the bootleg version of it in some echoey location of the song. They want to hear the good quality version of the song. Yes, so what they do is you sync it up, with the studio version of the song, and then you take out the audio from the location. Okay, you're not expecting, I don't know, some great singer. I was gonna say Whitney Houston. I don't know, Mariah Carey, or I don't know, Celine Dion or whoever, to just be blasting fantastic vocals, walking through the street and I don't know, dancing in the club or walking through the halls of a crowded subway or wherever. No, that's the studio version. That's the studio version where you're hearing that wonderfully engineered sound. So yeah, so the reference audio is not heard in the final product. It's just used so that everybody is on beat, and when you're also syncing the video, so when you have the footage shot on location and you have the studio version of the song, when you put that on the same editing timeline, the waveforms will match up pretty well. So that way it's a lot easier to just put your shots in place. So yeah, and then you get rid of the inferior sounding audio. Excuse me. So for nature and documentary videos, let's see, how am I doing on time? Okay, so with nature and documentary videos, they're kind of like a well, think of documentaries as like a long news package. Okay, it kind of follows a similar format of basically give information and then set up a soundbite, then use a soundbite, then give more information, set up a soundbite, then use another soundbite. But anyway, don't want to talk too much about that. What I do want to talk about is just kind of like an introduction to this. So with nature and documentary videos, they give present reality that will enlighten viewers, and it's longer than, say, a news program. So you may have a news program on, I don't know, voting rights, okay, a news package on voting rights, but in that instance you only get what, 90 seconds to talk about it, 2 minutes maybe. But documentary, it may be a 30-minute thing, 20-minute thing, an hour-long thing, or even more. So it does present a real story, real situation, and it gives a lot of time to delve into that. Now, with these nature and documentary videos, it does require that the camera be where the main characters, main people are located. So you kind of got to follow them around, okay, where they are, because you're giving a view of reality. And if reality takes place over here, then you go over here. If reality takes place over there, then you go over there. All right. So with these situations, you want to make sure the camera is unobtrusive. So you're trying not to be in the way. So yeah, smaller cameras are better because they take up less space. Tripods aren't going to be used as often because they take up space. If you're in a small area and you got a big old tripod, it's kind of hard to get out of the way of somebody walking down a hallway. So yeah, being unobtrusive is a definite consideration. Also, with these nature and documentary videos, you view events as they occur. So it's not like a schedule. I want you to go here, do this, and shoot this, and turn to the camera and say this particular thing. No, if you're shooting something and then an emergency occurs and whoever it is that you're following has to go over there to take care of something else, then that's where you're going also. Okay, with these type of videos or projects, Yeah, there's usually no retakes, so you're not just manufacturing. You're not manufacturing what occurs, so you just have to go with what happens. And if you missed it, one thing that people do in documentary videos, and this also happens in reality television, if there was something that was missed on camera, guess what happens? They do like a little short interview, or they ask someone who was involved about what happened, and they give, they kind of rehash it for the camera. So yeah, but it's not like, okay, go have that argument again, or go slip and fall on this particular thing again. No. Also, the artificial light is kind of hard to deal with because it takes battery power, or you got to plug in somewhere, or you got to take up space in order to have that artificial light. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do that, but having a good low light camera helps with that. Even say a camera mounted light might be just too much to influence things. So yeah, you're not setting up 3-point lighting or whatever when dealing with these situations. So you kind of use the light of the environment. So video art, I think, yeah, home stretch. So with video art, that's basically when someone who knows how to edit or shoot, or both, they just create something that they find artistic and interesting. So this is not something, it always, it tends to make its way into commercials and movies, but this is not a client requesting, oh, I want you to do some type of super cool upside down time reversal thing that has never existed before. So most people, they don't know, it's not that. It's just usually somebody discovers that, hey, I can do this thing and it looks kind of cool, and I'm just going to do this in this particular video, and maybe I'll throw this in some type of project. It catches on, and then more people do it. So now one thing that's a big part of this is that it requires special effects. So video art didn't exist before nonlinear editing, because nonlinear editing, you've got lots of special effects. Before nonlinear editing, you were just doing cuts. People who were doing videos were just using cuts only editing. So yeah, you didn't really have, for them, just doing a dissolve may have been like, ooh, wow, okay. Yeah, I think I said this. It usually finds its way into mainstream through commercials, promotional IDs, intros to shows, it may pop up in opening graphics where the words pop up in really cool ways or whatever. So next up, I'm going to show you an example of some video art so you can kind of understand. And this was just playing a little piece of video from a Kanye West song called Power. And let's see, where is it? And I remember shortly after this had come out, and no, I won't be playing the audio, that I think like a promo for some other TV shows, a comedy, used a similar style. But anyway, let me get this right. Okay, so anyway, there we go. Should I just, yeah, anyway, I'll just let you watch. All right, so let's get back to this. So with the video art, yeah, I mean, I know Karani is a creative person, but I'm guessing the person who shot the video had probably like, oh, I think I got something that he's gonna love, and then, you know, it ends up in the video. So yeah, that is this chapter touched on a lot of the things that video can be. Hold on, I think I just messed it up. Did I mess it up? Nope. All right. Chapter touched on a lot of the things that video can be used for. This isn't all of them, but it gives you a pretty good idea. So, anyway, I believe that's going to be it for this.